Afternoon, everyone. Certainly, Loxton has turned on a wonderful day for this very special 60th anniversary of Mardi Gras. Before we get down to the business matter, I'd really like to thank the bands who have made the day so special. First of all, the Riverland Brass, who provided entertainment before the parade, and then to the police band, the Nuriutpa band and the Redbacks. Sitting where I was during the parade, people said as soon as the bands appeared there was a real lift, and it was great to have you all here today, and thank you very much for your continued support. Let's hear it for the bands. This Mardi Gras is really the biggest one that I've been involved with, because we are recognising so many of our past representatives, whether they be charity winners or whether they be the actual Queen or Ambassador. And it is great to have so many of them back with us today. So the first thing we're going to do is to acknowledge our past winners, and we're starting by sashing the returning senior ambassadors. And if they can form a heap out the front here, we've got lots of people who are going to sash you whether you like it or not. So here we go. First of all, Chris Smith from 2008, Shirley Gibbs, 2006, both sponsored by the village. And there's no need to wait, come out straight away so we can do the deed and you can go and enjoy the rest of the day. Pauline Mitchell from 2007, sponsored by the hospital. Norma Schubert, 2005, sponsored by the Pines. Gail Page, 2011, and Robin Size, 2012, both sponsored by the Lions Club. Fiona Kupke, 2010, and Les Voigt, 2013, both sponsored by the Uniting Church. Let's hear a big round of applause for these very worthwhile winners. Oh, and we're going to have a photo opportunity here, if you're very quick. David, are you going to be able to make it? You're looking so resplendent there with all your sashes. I hate to disturb the peace, but here he comes. 2000 and... Oh, sorry, you weren't even mentioned on that list, you unfortunate fellow. So have we got Les Voigt, 2013, and David Lecornu, 2015. Uniting Church, a triumvirate of victors. It looks as though we'll have to present Les with his in church tomorrow. So thanks most sincerely to these wonderful people. It was a great idea to get the seniors involved, because they not only were more willing to take on the role, but they worked very hard, and it's all made them 10 or 15 years younger, as you can see. Not a grey hair among them. Oh, here comes Les. Yes, Steph, take another photograph. Steph, am I allowed to announce the news? I can go for it. Look, last night we had this wonderful dinner down at the pub, and Steph and Pam couldn't be there because they had to go to Harndorf for the awards for the country papers. Guess who won? Loxton News. And we're all very delighted about that. Even more delighted that Pam was able to drive Steph back this morning safely to be here in time. Okay, we now move on to our past ambassador winners. And the first We're going to start with returning queens from 1958 to 1967. And we do have some. Aileen Auld, who was the very first winner. Special round for Aileen. Eloise Burns, 59. Janet Wright, 62. Connie Kelly, 65. And Chris Twigden, 66. It's one of the beauties about these sashes, one size fits all, poorly. And now we're going to recognise the 68 to 77 winners, and they are Judy Lawson, the 1970 Charity Queen, Liz DeMott, 71 winner, Jan Koenig, the 71 Charity Queen, Jenny Underwood, the 1974 Queen and Charity Queen, Joy Henschke, 1975, Judy Fitzner, 1976, Charity Queen, and Veronica King, 1977, Queen and Charity Queen. Veronica, in her youth, was also a princess, if you'd believe. Okay, they are the 68 to 77. Moving right along, from 78 to 87. The 78 winner, Anita Pluckhahn. Chrissy Kruger, the 1978 Charity Queen. Deb Schilling, all the way from Horsham, the 79 Queen. Leonie Graham, the 1980 Queen and Charity Queen. We move now to the next part of the history from 88 to 97. In 89, Sharon Coombs, knee hand. In 1990, Nicole Matner, knee Sharon. Sorry, it's got Nicole Sharon, knee Matner. Thank you, get that right. Jill Zimmerman, knee Bradke. In 1992, Rochelle Westbrook, knee Worst in 1993, Jodie Batterham's knee Zimmerperson, 1994, Cale Edwards, knee Fennick in 1996, and 1997, Petra Davis, knee Rowe. Don't get too exhausted, just give them a clap, they all are worthy. We now come to the 1998, 2007. In 1999, we had Anne Bealey, nee Grosluski, as the Queen. Billie Jo Hammerstein in 1999, Charity Queen. Christy Lewis, 2002, Queen and Charity Queen. Corinne Jones, Corinne Andriski, nee Jones in 2003. Renee Filke, nee Schmoll in 2003, Charity Queen. Katie Evans, 2005, Queen and Charity Queen. Andrea Athanasopoulos, nee Schmal in 2007, Queen and Charity Queen. And moving right along, 2008 to 2015. Monique Felder was the 2009 Ambassador. Pamela Perry was the 2009 Charity Ambassador. She must be sleeping off her victory somewhere. Kelly Nicolai was the 2011 Charity Ambassador. Alicia Hamoud, nee Taylor, was the 2014 Ambassador. And because our 2015 winner is has gone west, we can't recognise young Butson, so we'll leave 2016. You might as well get your sash now, and we'll deal with you a little bit later on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have now recognised the past winners who are with us today. So thank you all very much. There are two other people, and my running sheet doesn't allow this, but I need to recognise them, and they were, oh goodness me, girls, just be quiet. We need to recognise Sue Ann and Martina, because they were the very first junior queens back in 1966. Okay, so can we also have the sashes then for our junior queens? They're waiting over here for you. Now, is there anyone that I have missed?
They just blend into everyone else, don't they?
Have our last sash people come into this picture? Oh, it looks as though we're all going home. We've also just sashing our last junior ambassador, and there's one person whose name I have not been given, and she's got a sash, so thank you very much for returning. Okay, I think that's all. So now you can all just go back, put your feet up and enjoy the rest of the presentations. I'd now like to call on Peter McGarry, who is the chairperson of Mardi Gras, to come join me on stage, and we're going to make some presentations, special awards to people who over the long history of Mardi Gras have performed incredible jobs.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to see such a good crowd here this afternoon. We've got a few service awards to give to people who have served us over the time of Mardi Gras, and particularly in the recent few years. These are people who go sight unseen usually and make a very significant contribution to Mardi Gras. And I wondered if Deb Wade is around here. She's been doing our auditing. Is Deb Wade in the community? Because we'd like her to come forward and receive a service award certificate for her services rendered. So if anybody can see Deb Wade, point her in this direction, please. So we acknowledge Deb. No sign. Eileen Sweeney. Is Eileen Sweeney around, please? Many of you will have seen the parade start over the years with the names and numbers of Loxton Mardi Gras and the year sewn on the little banners, and Eileen Sweeney has been doing this for many years. I don't know if Eileen can hear me, but Eileen, we want to acknowledge you as well. So no sign, no coming, we'll get it to Eileen. Thank you, Eileen. Chris Smith is probably more local and more available. Is Chris around, please? Chris is coming. Thank you. Chris has done a wonderful amount of work for Mardi Gras over the years. And Chris, we wanted to acknowledge you for this award, but I'll wait until you get here. Thank you. Do you want it to stay here? I would like to make it clear that these are not resignation awards. These are just acknowledging service over a good period of time. We'd have Steve and Catherine Hastwell. Is Catherine around, please, from Scouts SA, and for your contributions there?
I think she's coming.
Yes. If you want to. So this is for services rendered. Thank you very much, and we do appreciate all that you've done at Scouts SA. And Scouts SA have been very good. If you could just stand by for a minute, please, just to hold fast. Scouts SA have been very good indeed. There's a big LEDs display here on my right-hand side, your left-hand side. It was used last night for the film as well, which I understand was a wonderful success. So the Scouts have been wonderful help over the recent few years. We'd like to acknowledge Scouts SA, and we'd like you to take that back as thanks to Adelaide. And Steve's over there taking a photograph right now. So thank you very much for all the Scouts have done, and I think that deserves a solid round of applause. Thank you. Lance and Lorraine Peck. Lance is Lance around somewhere, please. Here he comes. Lance does a lot of work in the background, as has most of these people so far that we've acknowledged. And the background work that Lance does is very often sight unseen. He brings chairs, he puts up signs on the roundabout. Lance has done a wonderful amount of work over the time for the whole community. And Lance, we'd like to recognise this work and contribution you've made with a little certificate. Thank you very much, Lance. I think that's alive. Is that alive?
Yeah, thank.
Just talk, Mark.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Peter. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with Mardi Gras, particularly behind the scenes, and I was virtually full-time with Mardi Gras for 10 years, and anyway, I was in charge of putting the hobbies out together with one past member that's not with us anymore, and that's Don Charity. Dear old Don, he done a lot too. And we was always in charge of all the hobby displays, and we used to get the quilters and so forth in, and that was all in the show society down there. And I'm just a bit sorry that my wife couldn't be with me. She did a little bit too with Mardi Gras. Unfortunately, she's recuperating from a hip operation. Thank you.
Thanks, Lance. Mary Provis, is Mary around anywhere? Is she standing by any of you? Mary Provis has done a huge amount of work in Mardi Gras gone by over a long period and many years, and we're very grateful to Mary for her contributions. I can't see a movement at the station, but we'll try and get this to her if we can. Thank you to Mary. The next on the list is a chap that most of you would know. Lance, sorry, not Lance, beg your pardon, has done a lot of work over the years, not necessarily from behind the scenes, although there is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. And I wonder if Orb Matner would step forward, please. So, thank you, Orb. Orb has confessed to be retiring from the committee, not that he has to be, but this is an award to acknowledge all the work that you've done, Orb, and Lil and the whole show there. We appreciate the huge amount of work that goes on behind the scenes, arranging the dinner and many other aspects over a long period of time, and you've been at the forefront of Mardi Gras, and you have a huge working knowledge of Mardi Gras, and we're very much appreciative of all that you've done, Orb, and thank you very much. Of more recent times, Bill and Di Martin. Would you like to come forward, please? Bill and Di Martin. Bill and Di have been extremely instrumental in these recent Mardi Gras parades. I can't see them coming forward. They may be hiding somewhere. Anybody got a cattle prod for Bill and Di Martin?
There's Di
Di is coming. I see a movement. Where's Bill? Bill with the blue shirt and the cowboy hat. Don't be shy, Bill. We know you're there somewhere. Okay. Okay, Di. We'll just have Di representing Bill and Di. So, Di, we thank you very much for what you've done, Bill and you. It's a case of when you get one, you get two, because when you get Bill, you get Di, or when you get Di, you get Bill. But not only that, you get a whole host of their family, for goodness sake. Their family are connected to Scouts SA. So the web goes on, and what we find is we've been just wonderfully blessed over the years, the recent years of Mardi Gras, with the great contributions that you and all of your family have made, and we're very much appreciative of that. Bill and Di have seen fit to move interstate. They've gone to Gol, New South Wales. Can't be helped, but that's what happens. And so we just want to thank you for all you've done, and we look forward to keeping in touch with you. Thank you. Blessings to you. I'm not sure if this is a case of farewell, but I can see Bill over there. Bill, don't come all the way, but you'll get a certificate coming your way. If you want to come over here and wave, we could acknowledge you. So Bill was coming in from the right. Stopped. Okay, moving along. Tanya Filkey, would you like to come forward, please? No, Tanya wouldn't want to come forward. That would be, we know Tanya. So Tanya has been involved with running the parade over the last 4 years, or is it 5? 4? 5 years, including this one. So we want to acknowledge all of your contribution, and we understand that you won't be continuing with the parade management, so we want to acknowledge you for your services rendered. Thank you very much to Tanya Filkey. Lynn Schmall, where's Lynn now hiding, please? She was babysitting, childminding and doing a million other things. Lynn Schmall. Lynn's been involved in Mardi Gras since probably about, no, I won't say that, since 1958. I've probably known about it since then. Lynn has done a wonderful amount of things, like many of these people of whom I mentioned, have been working behind the scenes. And working behind the scenes, there's a huge amount of work that goes on. And Lynn, you've got an innate knowledge of Mardi Gras, and also stirring up people around the community to assist. So as Treasurer and a host of other aspects, we thank you very much for your services rendered over the years. Well done. So I think that's a case of that's it, that's all, and I'd like to thank you all for your contributions, and you've been reminded many times, but if you'd like to be in any way part of Mardi Gras next year, Mardi Gras will not be continuing unless we can find personnel stepping forward, and so we'll be knocking on doors, but please feel free to knock on our door. Thank you all for your time today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you for the award. I wasn't expecting anything like that, and I think the surprises for the day have now ended. That's not true. We're going to get some prizes when we announce the winners. And the first of the announcements I have is for the window display. And the window display for 2017, winning Loxton News kindly sponsors the competition by donating a generous 2-by-quarter page advert. And Totally Exposed will be Totally Exposed. So could someone from Totally Exposed come forward and collect that? Sharon, put your camera down and take it home to Mum. Here she comes. Oh, to be so young and just running up the steps like that. So Sharon, pass that on to Mum and Dad and thank them very much for being involved. No, that's not a side payment for you. The next thing that I want to talk about are the floats, and I'm sure that you will agree that the parade today would have to rate as one of the very best that Loxton has seen. And as I've said to Tanya on many occasions, she's only halfway through her 10-year stint, so we'll have to work on that. But Tanya and your helpers, it was great to sit back and look at the display today. In fact, it was really quite emotional seeing so many groups involved. And then the judges had the difficult task of working out who the winners were going to be. The most outstanding float, the prize goes to the Loxton Lutheran School. Have we got someone from the Loxton Lutheran School to whisk off this $500 prize for the most outstanding float. Going once, twice. Okay, we'll make sure that the check gets where it needs. The next prize goes to the most humorous float. And as part of our Friends of Mardi Gras this year, we scouted the district and we got some very wonderful donations, which I'll talk a bit about later on. But one came from Robin H. Williamson and Associate, and their prize of $250 for the most humorous goes to the Loxton Hospital Complex and Medical Practice. I don't know whether the young baby Hamilton is up to taking it or whether Mother Searles could cope with it. But it was great to see the hospital and the health centre involved, and it certainly caused lots of laughs. And I think that most people will appreciate that the judges so far have done very well. It looks as though that's... Oh, Chris, you're going to come and take that? For the best themed float. Okay. The best themed float. 1988 to 1997 ambassadors. Rochelle, you were responsible for that. There we go. Congratulations. Yes, she's still all shiny, yes. A lot of these past winners, I think, take a bit of umbrage when we say that they are the old queens, because they're not really old, are they? We now come to the best ambassador float. And Strength for Life were the winners there. Strength for Life. Now, surely there is someone with energy to come and collect that. Yes. Here we go. Doing push-ups as they come. So congratulations to Strength for Life. Unless you want to come up onto the stage and show off your strength there. Okay. And this year, the Loxton Mardi Gras Committee awarded a prize, and this went to Jake Stewart Noble's prize. So have we got... We must have Jake here because he's going to be involved in just a minute. So, congratulations to Jake Stewart Noble. Do you want to come up here and get this piece of paper? Good man. You take that home. Give that to Mum. Okay, that completes the prizes for the floats. And now we come to the time where we recognise the people who have been part of Mardi Gras and raising the money. But before we do that, can I just highlight for those of you that haven't read the handout or the centre part of the Loxton News, where we have a history of what Mardi Gras has meant. We sent out this plea for people to become friends of the Mardi Gras, and that included sponsorship of varying amounts, and they're all mentioned in the Loxton News. But the final tally from that plea to the public of raised $5,480, and that would cover about half the costs of putting on the parade, with the insurance and prizes and catering and so on. So we really are very, very grateful to the Loxton community for this generosity. And that's quite apart from what the various ambassadors have raised. I'd now like the junior ambassadors to come up on stage, and we want to have a quick chat to you. And at the same time, we are welcoming Callista Dubrick to help with this presentation, because Paquita Martin is unavailable for this time. So can we have the three young ambassadors up on the stage? Right, to start off with, before we even talk, I'm going to get Callista to present you with an envelope and a certificate, and then we'll have some fun. So, first of all, Lachlan Carter. And then we have Jake Stewart Noble. And then, just to confuse us, we have Perham. No, don't run away, don't run away. No, come back here, come back here. Now, this won't be as much fun as when you're talking to Jono, but I want you to come over here, all of you, over here. We're going to find out a little bit about you. Now, I read that you all got favourite colours. Let me guess. Orange. And the other two are easy, they're both blue, aren't they? Okay, what school do you go to, Lachlan?
Loxton Primary School.
And who's your teacher?
Mrs. Lipman.
Mrs. Lipman. And what's your favourite subject at school?
Maths.
Isn't he a dear little fellow? Maths is his favourite subject. That's very good. And tell me, what's been being involved with Mardi Gras been like? Have you liked being part of Mardi Gras?
Yes.
And who helped you build your float?
My granny.
Your granny. She's a clever granny, isn't she? Okay. Now, Jake Perham. What's your favourite hero? Yeah, Batman fixed it. Okay, what school do you go to?
St. Albert's.
And who's your teacher?
Mrs. Cash.
Mrs. Cash. Does she teach you music as well?
Yes.
And what's your favourite subject?
Sport.
Sport. I can understand that because we live just near the Catholic school and sport seems to be very important and enjoyable. Other Jake. How are you, Jake?
Good.
And you go to which school?
St. Albert's Catholic School.
And who's your teacher?
Mrs. Evans and Mrs. Ruan.
Oh, so you've got two people to look after you. And what's your favourite subject?
Sport.
Sport. So we've got two good sports and a maths person. Let's hear it for our junior ambassadors. Because they've been sponsored by the hospital and by Riverland Floor Centre. And we can't advertise that for Grandpa and Grandma, otherwise we'll get into trouble. But that's just down Bookmanall Road, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's just prolonged the excitement for a bit longer. These three young people, as part of the Junior Ambassador scheme, with the help of Annette Dubrick and others, have organised joint fundraising, and I believe the total that they raised was $2,143.50. So that was really great, and we're so pleased that you were part of it. And now we've got a blue envelope here which announces who is going to be the representative from this group. I've found the prize. The Junior Ambassador winner. The representative for the 2017 Junior Ambassador competition is Lachlan Carter. So congratulations. And Lachlan, that's a special envelope that you have to take home and share with Grandma and Mum and Dad. But you young people really inspire me that you took the time and effort to become involved, and we really thank you very much. So have a good time. All of you are winners, but we just have the one representative. So thank you again. And thank you, Callista, for your help. Right, you can go down now. We come now to the senior ambassadors. And this year, we have only the one senior ambassador, but that has been wonderful. Rose Orick, will you please join me on the stage? And Nolene, will you come along and strut your stuff as well? Nolene is our current senior ambassador. Just took a few years off your life there, Nolene, calling you junior ambassador. Before I interview Rose, I just want to say how delighted we were that she took part in this event, because we had asked lots of people, and it was a chance conversation that I had with her at Foodland, and strangely she didn't say no, and then a little bit later she said yes. So we were very grateful that Rose took part in this. Nolene, do you want to say anything before we get down to the nitty-gritty and hear from Rose? I'm sure you do.
Yes, I would. I'd just like to say that I've enjoyed my year as Senior Ambassador, and I thoroughly enjoyed my prize, which it was at the Langmuir Cottages at Tanunda. Excellent weekend, a great place to go. And good luck to Rose and the other entrants.
Thank you, Nolene. Now, Rose, come over here and tell us a little bit. First of all, you're sponsored by?
The Loxton Hospital.
And they've been working very hard, I hear.
Yes, we have been working hard. I've got a wonderful committee. They are just wonderful people. Thank you.
And it's been great that you have steadily paced your events, and the result is really quite staggering. The other day I was up the street and I still haven't won a raffle ticket, but she was still working last Saturday. And I know that she carries the best wishes of all the people who supported her, because her enthusiasm was really quite remarkable under sometimes quite difficult circumstances. But it was great that you took part. And it is quite amazing that I am going to announce the amount of money raised by Rose. $12,021.40. So congratulations, Rose. We are delighted for you.
Thank you very much, and thank you to everyone who supported our fundraisers. Thank you.
It was a wonderful cause that they were working for, and a well worth effort all round. I've got some envelopes over here. There's a senior ambassador envelope. I'm sure that is telling you the prize, and a certificate of appreciation. So thank you, Rose, and thank you. Wait for this photo opportunity. And don't run away, because Nolene, you have got to do the sashing. And as I've said before, one size fits all. Even if it's sometimes on backwards, makes no difference. No, okay. So thank you very much to Rose and Nolene for another wonderful year of work. Okay, thank you very much. And now I would like the following people to join me on stage. Our two ambassadors, Paula and Emma, Paula Nitschke and Emma Reichstein, and joining them is our current winner, Shelley Vallis, and her Port Lincoln friend, Heather Shannon. So a big welcome, please, for all of these people. And I think that we'll just make our two current ambassadors wait a little bit longer, because Shelley wants to speak, and I said, please don't make it any longer than half an hour. So, Shelley, would you like to say a few words?
Firstly, I'd just like to say welcome to everyone. The crowd here today is amazing. Awesome support, and how many floats we had involved this year was great. Route that we took was extended from last year, and we still got stopped coming around, having to wait for the last ones to go through, so that was awesome to see. Being in your 2016 ambassador, I was able to have the opportunity to travel to Port Lincoln for that Tuna-Rama event. Kelly, who was here last year, she hosted me, and I got to see Heather be crowned as the 2017 Tuna-Rama ambassador. We had a very fun night with her and her family, and we have made some good friends through them, and it's been great to be able to host them so far. I would also just really like to say that something like this can't go on without volunteers. I have had so much personal growth through my year and my quest, and it's the perfect opportunity to be involved in your community, and yeah, it's just so rewarding. There is really no words for it. So congratulations, girls. There's, like I said last night, there's no winners, there's no losers. We all win here with the community, so thank you.
Very well done. And you can see that year has done nothing much to help her public speaking and confidence. Shelley, you did very well. Thank you. And I'm sure you represented us beautifully at Port Lincoln. Now, last night I had the pleasure of meeting Heather Shannon and her partner, Tony Perks, who's here. They were here for the weekend. They're staying, I better not say because you might be mobbed, but they're staying in a fairly new overnight establishment in the town. And this morning when I spoke to Heather, she said that as they walked down to the pub for breakfast, her partner said, I think I could come back here. And so we really do hope that you do come back, and ask you, Heather, just to say a few words.
Thank you. So my name's Heather Shannon, and I'm Tuna-Rama Ambassador the Ambassador for Port Lincoln 2017. As an entrant last year, I raised money for the Royal Flying Doctors, and I managed to raise $25,850. The experience was incredible, and once again, the personal growth is just amazing. Last year, the Tuna-Rama Committee welcomed a new coordinator, Sally, and she's brought some new and fresh ideas to Tuna-Rama. We had Air Square, which promoted our local produce, and she also brought back a lot of the local businesses and community groups back into the festival as well. So we got to host Shelley, and we had a blast. And thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed myself, and yeah, as we said, that you'll see us again here. We love it here. Yeah, we've been welcomed. Yeah, it's been really fun, so thank you.
Thank you very much. And before we do anything else, there's a parcel over there on the table, which I think is for Heather. So, congratulations, Heather, for representing Port Lincoln so well, and it's great to have you as our guest. Now we need to speak to our current ambassadors, and it is a real pleasure to hear something of their lives before we announce the charity and the winner. Paula, let me start with you. Paula Nitschke, tell us all about you and your sponsorship.
All right, I've been sponsored by Strength for Life, which is run out of the 24/7 Core Value Gym just down the road here. We meet every Tuesday and Friday to do strength, balance and great community building activities as well. Lots of fun and laughter happens in there. So that's who are sponsoring me. As for who I am, I've been here now for 20 years. So I'm not quite the Loxton local, but I have moved here and embraced this community as it is today. It is a wonderful community to be a part of. Coming from Melbourne, you're insignificant. You're a person in amongst a crowd, but coming to Loxton, you're a member of the community, and it's been an amazing part of my world. So that's me.
Thank you very much. It's great to hear that. And one of the questions I believe that you were asked during judging was that if you were a painter, what would you paint? And she's an outstanding athlete and well-being person, but she's not an artist. But her answer was terrific.
I wanted to paint Loxton, as the river, a fruit block, and the paddocks of Loxton, like the agriculture. Because that's what we represent. Yeah, maybe a glass of wine.
A glass of wine, and of course, a very happy family as well. So thank you very much for talking to us. Emma, let's talk to you. Now, tell us a little bit, first of all, who's sponsoring you, and then tell us a bit about yourself.
I'll have to go this way. I'm sponsored by the Loxton Rotary Club. They've been amazing support to me throughout this whole campaign. They have an amazing fundraising committee, and they do a lot for Loxton as well. So I'm really happy to represent them and thank them for all their support for me. As for myself, I'm a farm girl that's come from out of Loxton, but Loxton's always been our home, our base, and where we used to come in and get shopping and all that. I went to school out at East Murray, so I'm a full country girl that's come into Loxton to Adelaide and then come back home again. And this is just the Loxton community. There's not much more like it. It's just, you feel at home, you feel safe, everybody's friends, it's all friendly, and it's a great little community to be a part of, and I hope I've gave something back. Thanks.
You've done very well, and I remember in the lift out you mentioned that you have memories as a child coming in to see the parades. Well, today you were in that parade, and for those of us that were watching, we certainly got a real buzz out of that, and I'm sure you did on the float itself. Now, there are a couple certificates and envelopes which we will distribute. That's Paula's, and here is Emma's. Okay. You can, yes. Okay. Now, we come to the final announcements, and I want you to think, first of all, that before we started, the community had donated very close to 5,500. Last night's dinner at the hotel was also a fundraiser, and we would clear about 1,000 from that. You've heard how much the junior ambassadors raised, $2,148.30. The senior ambassador, $12,021.40. The ambassadors collectively raised $19,417.69, giving us a grand total from our ambassadors of $33,587.39. And that is really quite a staggering result, because all up, that brings us very close to 40,000 for our year of Mardi Gras. And that's done with 3 juniors, 1 senior, and 2 hard-working ambassadors. So thank you all very much. I now have to announce the charity ambassador. The charity ambassador raised $13,800, and that is Emma Reichstein from the Rotary Club. And we don't normally announce the amount raised by our other ambassadors, but I spoke to Paulie yesterday, and she's more than happy to announce that her little committee raised $5,617. And that is really quite staggering. Now, it's getting a bit cool, so we need a cape. And now I'm sure that Emma would like to say a little more.
Wow, that amount is just amazing. Well done, Paula, for all your efforts as well. And I'd like a big round of applause for Paula as well, for all her fundraising efforts as well. All the money is going back into the community, so the more we raise, the more it all comes back, and we can see it, within the town and stuff. Firstly, I'd like to thank, obviously, the Rotary Club for asking me to be their ambassador this year. It's been a fantastic opportunity. Shelley encouraged me to do it as well because of her personal growth through it, and I really have grown, I think, as a person as well. Standing up here would have been a nightmare for me, 6 months ago, but I'm coping pretty well, I think. I haven't fainted yet, so, but thanks so much to the Rotary Club. They do amazing work, and their fundraising committee is just amazing. Their support and organisation of events is just astounding. So just a round of applause to the Rotary Club as well. So. And then there's obviously my family and friends. The last week has been pretty stressful in our family. We've had shearing and trying to get a float and trying to get a ute back to home, and it's been very stressful, but we got there in the end. So I'd like to thank my dad, Maz, Nikita, Hannah, Benny, Jack, Rose, even if Rose didn't want to come on the float with me, that's okay. My sister Tash, Ben, they're from Harndorf, but they've supported me all through this as well. And obviously all my friends and everybody that attended my fundraisers. It's obviously, you wouldn't get here without all that support, and I've just been so humble and grateful for everybody that's donated stuff to my cause, that's donated random amounts of money. It's just been an amazing experience. So thank you to everybody.
Well done. And just one further word about Rotary. For those of you that get to look at that lift out, you'll find that they, in response to our plea for fundraising, became sapphire and diamond sponsors. So we really appreciated the $1,100 that Rotary donated. I have one envelope left. Goodness me, they've really hidden this. The 2017 Loxton Mardi Gras ambassador is Paula Nitschke. And now that she has composed herself, I'm sure she would like to say something. Okay, Paula.
I am gobsmacked. Let's put it that way. Thank you so much. It has been an amazing journey to get Strength for Life out there. I'm really passionate about what I do at the gym with these lovely people, as they are themselves coming and doing Strength for Life with me. So I have a huge, big thank you to all of you at Strength for Life who have supported me from start to now and will continue to do so by continuing to come along to Strength for Life. I've had an amazing year of fundraising. I did one event, I tried to do one event a month, and grabbed whoever I could at the time to help me if they were good at golf or bowls or what have you. And whilst we didn't raise an exceedingly massive amount of money, I think $5,600 for a small community of people is an awesome amount. So thank you dearly to all of you who have made such a great effort, and today too, for also the float. We had a good time putting that together. It started off with a blank canvas and we created what we did today. And I'd like to also thank my family who have put up with me and my events once a month and the stress level that went with that. They've done exceedingly well to support me, and that be Nathan, Samuel, Harmony and Trinity, so thanking them. And Ian, my father-in-law as well, for driving the ute today. It's been a fantastic opportunity for me. It's also, I just wanted to say, a massive thank you to the Loxton community. Coming from Melbourne, where you are insignificant in any way, shape or form, to a community that embraces you, no matter how quirky, no matter how lovely, no matter what you do. I think my kids don't like me going to Woolies very much because I keep talking to people while I'm there. I enjoy having a conversation with people down the street, and this community says it all. You come out to support the Mardi Gras. It's a once-a-year event. Thank you so much for doing that, and I'm going to pass it back to Orb.
Thank you very much. It's often on occasions like this when we say there can only be one winner, but we've got two winners on the stage here today.